Deba anyị ekene m unu. Igbo mụrụ nze m ọzọ. Kedu ka ekesi anyanwụ? Ka eko si aga? Ka eko si wee dịrị gị tata? Otu ọbụla o si wee dịrị gị, kelee Chineke maka na mpekere ndụ ka mpekere ọnwụ mma. Kama m ga-anwụ ka m na-adọrị maka na ụwa bụ ndọrị ndọrị. Akpachi ụwa ọ dịka ọ naghị atụ n'ọnụ. Mana chetakwa na agụụ nwere nchekwube anaghị egbu egbu. Aka m bụkwa maazị onye nkụzi Igbo, Maazị Onyemaechi maọbụ Maazị Chris, onye na-akụzi Igbo na IgboLingua. Ihe anyị na-eme na IgboLingua bụ ịkwalite asụsụ Igbo site n'ịkụziri ụmụnne anyị Igbo, ma ndị nọ na Naịjirịa ma ndị nọ na mba ofesi. Ebe ọbụla ị nọ n'ụwa chọọ ịmụta Igbo, pụtara anyị ga-enyere gị aka. Tata Igbo, ama m na by now you must have learned the basics of Igbo language, such as the 36 Igbo alphabet. Tata anyị ga-enebe anya na nkewasi na ngalaba dị iche iche dị n'ime ahịrịokwu Igbo, the divisions and the categories of the 36 alphabet in Igbo language. The 36 alphabet in Igbo language are grouped into different families, groups, categories, levels, and divisions to enable easier and better assimilation of Abiidii Igbo. So today we are going to look at them. In this particular class, we are going to study them. We are going to pick them one after the other. In this particular video lesson, we will look at Udaume, which is the first division and even the most important of them all. Even though the three divisions are very important, but Udaume is the most important for several reasons. One, there is no Igbo word that doesn't contain Udaume. Two, almost all the Udaume letters can stand alone as words, and most times they function as pronouns. Okay, and some other critical reasons that you get to understand later. So today we are going to look at the three major divisions of the Igbo alphabet. We have Udaume, mgbochiume, and myiriudaume. There are reasons why they are given such names, and today we're going to look at them all. So if you are ready to learn Igbo language, if you are ready to understand the various divisions and categorizations of the Abiidii Igbo, then this particular class is for you. So I want you to relax, get your pen and paper, stay in a very calm and quiet environment, and configure your mind to learn Igbo today. So if you are ready to get started, Nkewasi, ekere mkpụrụ edemede Igbo, kwado, gbachere m, enwena ngwọ maka na nkwụ na-abịa. Ngwa ka anyị gbapụ ya ọsọ. Ndewo. Debe anyị ekene m unu, nke onye chiri ya zere. Today we are going to discuss the categorizations, the divisions, the groupings of the 36 Igbo alphabet. Remember, in previous videos, I've already looked at the pronunciations of all these alphabets. Tata, anyị ga-enebe anya na nkewasi dị iche iche na Abiidii Igbo, ka esi wee kerisia mkpụrụ edemede Igbo. Anyị ga-enebe anya ya ka anyị wee hụ ka esi wee kee ha n'ọgbara n'ọgbara. That is the different groups of the Igbo alphabet. So we have different categories, okay, of this 36 Igbo Abiidii. But we're going to pick a particular one in each of the classes and discuss them in detail. So out of the 36 Igbo alphabet, there are three major groupings, okay? We have the Udaume. Of course, these are the vowel letters. Okay, and then we have the mgbochiume, the consonants. Okay, then we have a myiriudaume. Okay, this grouping is very important. They resemble vowels in terms of their functions, even though they belong to mgbochiume, yet we had to put them in one group because they perform a crucial function in Igbo language. Okay, so these are the three major groupings of the Abiidii Igbo. Ekere Abiidii Igbo n'ụzọ atọ pụrụ iche, otu, abụọ, atọ, ụzọ atọ pụrụ iche nke anyị ga-enebe anya na ya. Anyị ga-enebe anya na Udaume, that is the vowel letters. Neba anya na mgbochiume, nebakwa anya na myiriudaume, ka anyị wee hụ mkpụrụ edemede ndị nke nọ na Udaume, ndị nke nọ na mgbochiume, na ndị nke nọ na myiriudaume. If you can recall, in my courses and some previous videos I've made, I've explained why the vowel letters are called Udaume. Just like the English vowel letters. Udaume n'asụsụ Igbo, ọ na-aga aga n'ọnụ, enweghị ihe mgbochi dị n'akpịrị ebe esi akpọpụta mkpụrụ edemede ndị a, mkpụrụ okwu ndị a na mkpụrụ ụda ndị anụnwa dị n'ime Udaume. That is, Udaume letters are very easy to pronounce. There is no obstruction, okay, in the speech system when pronouncing the vowel letters. That's why we call them Udaume. Ụda a na-emepụta site n'ikupụta ume. Ụda a na-emepụta site n'ikupụta ume. Ịma atụ a, e, i, e, o, u, o. They are very easy to pronounce. There is no obstruction in the speech organs when you are pronouncing the Udaume letters. That's why we call them Udaume. Ụda a na-emepụta site n'ikupụta ume. Ịnekwa anya na nke abụọ bụ mgbochiume, the consonant. Okay, those ones, there are obstructions. We experience some difficulties, some interruptions in the speech system or organs when we are pronouncing the mgbochiume letters or sounds. That's why we call them mgbochiume. Mgbochi means to prevent, to obstruct, to interfere, to block something. Then ume is breathing, your breath. So mgbochiume, the ones in which we feel some interruptions or difficulty in the speech system or organs when we are pronouncing them. Okay? Then myiriudaume means Udaume resemblance. Those letters that resemble Udaume, but they are not pure Udaume. Okay? Of course, Udaume vowels. Myiri means resembler, something that looks alike, a photocopy of something or a look-alike. Okay? Of something. It is not that particular thing, but it resembles it. So, myiriudaume are not pure vowel letters. They belong to consonants, but they are functioning as Udaume in most cases in Igbo words. So that's why we group them into under the myiriudaume group. Okay, so let's begin with the first one, which is Udaume. Abiidii na Udaume. Aga m ebugodi ụzọ wee depụta mkpụrụ edemede ndị a niile dị n'ime Udaume. Chetakwa na Udaume dị asatọ. Udaume dị asatọ. That is 8. Ha gụnyere a, e, i, e, o, u, na o. So otu, abụọ, atọ, anọ, ise, isii, asaa, asatọ. Udaume, that is the vowel letters in Igbo language. There are 8 in number, unlike the English vowel letters that are just 5. Okay? A, E, I, O, and U. 5. But in Igbo, we have 8. Okay? In fact, it is these additional letters in Udaume and mgbochiume that add up the 10 extra letters we have in Igbo. Remember, we have 36 alphabets in Igbo and 26 in English. So we have 10 more letters alphabet than the English alphabet. Okay? So we have 8 mkpụrụ edemede n'Igbo. Ha dị asatọ, 8 bụ asatọ. Now, under Udaume, that is the vowel letters. Remember, we have 2 major groupings of the vowel letters. Ya ịbịa n'ime Udaume, ekere ụzọ abụọ. Ụzọ abụọ pụrụ iche gbara ọkpụrụkpụ. Ha gụnyere Udaaro na ha dị sọsọ abụọ na Udamfe. Enwe ihe nchọkụ n'ụghọta ebe a. Biko, amarọ m ndị ọkammụta na ndị ọkachamara mepụtara Abiidii Igbo. Biko chere m, ama m ihe na-eme ebe a. Udaaro, n'ịgwa gị eziokwu, bụ the light vowels. Udamfe. Good. Ndị anụnwa bụ heavy ones. Ịgwa gị eziokwu, enwe ka ihe anụnwa dị. Ọ gbara ngọ. Nkewa anụnwa, aha anụnwa enyere Udaume ndị anụnwa, ọ gbara ngọ. Mana tupu m gwa gị ihe adịghị mma n'ihe a, ka m depụtagodoro gị ya. Abịa n'ime Udaaro, onye bụ ụzọ bụ e, i, O and U. Abịa n'ime ụdamfe onye bụ ụzọ bụ A, E, O na O. Ọ bụ na ị na-anya ịhụ na nke a na-agara nke a, nke a na-agara nke a, nke a na-agara nke a, nke a na-agara nke a. Ndị a niile, ụdaume ndị a niile nwecha ntụpọ n'okpuru ha E, O, O ya na A nọ n'ime ụdamfe. Mana iji wee gwa gị eziokwu, o kwesịghị chacha. O kwesịghị. It is improper. The way they name those groupings is not supposed to be. I'm the one that added these light vowels and heavy vowels. It's not there. Normally you see Udaaro and Udamfe. Now, linguistically, Aro means something heavy. Okay, Aro equals heavy. Yeah, this is the Aro. It means it is heavy. On Aro, it is heavy on my head. Or Aro, it is heavy. But in pronunciation, those ones are the light ones. Okay, they are very light during pronunciation. While you are pronouncing them, they are very light in the truth. Okay, you'll not feel that weight when you are pronouncing them. Unlike the Udamfe, when you are pronouncing the Udamfe letters, you usually feel this, weight in your throat. Okay, it's usually deep and heavy, unlike this one. So, if those ones are light in pronunciation, why then should they be grouped as Udaaro? It's not supposed to be. It's an anomaly, okay, in the namings. The same thing with Udamfe. These are actually the ones that are heavy. Remember, Mfe means light or easy. Mfe equals light. When something is light, it is easy, it is simple. But that's not the case because these are actually the heavy letters. I'm the one that put this extra explanation, light vowels, heavy vowels, okay, to show you that even though it is called Udaaro, it is actually light. Even though it's called Udamfe, it is actually heavy. So I don't know why the misplacement. This is not my own creation. No. It was our scholars, those who did earlier research and the innovations in Igbo language that made it this way. Okay, across several Igbo textbooks, this is what you see. But in my own explanation, I've added this light vowels and heavy vowels. I also have it in my book, the Biamota Igbo. There is a book that we have launched, Biamota Igbo. Biamota Igbo. You'll find it there. Biamota Igbo. It has book 1 and book 2. So the book 1 is the basics. Biamota Igbo book 1, the basics comprehensive Igbo language course. That's where you see things about the Abiidii Igbo. Then the book 2 is a bit intermediate. So that's the intermediate Igbo language course, where that goes that moves ahead of this. Okay, this is the basics. Book 1 basics. Then book 2 is the intermediate level that takes over from where the basics book stopped. All right. Though I have a course on this video course already on sale. And then the book. So if you can combine the course, the video course and the book, you combine them together alongside the practice test, it's going to help you a lot. So if you really want to understand more about this, you can find more, read more, research more using this book, Biamota Igbo, book 1. Okay, a very voluminous book, but not that so voluminous. All right, so this is Udaaro and Udamfe. Otu, abo, ato, ano. Ise, isi, asa, asato. So, A no Udamfe bo E no Udaaro. E bo I, O, bo O, bo U. Now, when you look at these letters, the first thing you notice is that those ones under Udamfe have dots below them. They have dots below them. Except A. The same thing with this one. They don't have dots below them, including the E. Please, this is not E. It is E. E. Let me clean these markings so they don't distract you. Okay. So, this is E and not E. Please, it is not E. It is E. E, E, E. The I is E in Igbo. Okay, English it is I, but Igbo it is E. English it is E. Igbo it is E. So E, o, u, e, I, o, u. Remember, they are light vowels. When you are pronouncing the light Udaume, the air flow upwards. Please take note. The air flow upwards. The air is light. The sound, the air from your throat or your mouth or the nose, wherever it's coming out through, it is always light when you are pronouncing the Udaaro, those ones. The air flow upwards. In fact, when you observe your head, you see an upward movement of your head alongside the sound. So you have N, N, N. In fact, that's even the best way to learn it. N, N, N. You know, move your head up, up, up. N, N, N. E, 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 E. Let there be a rise. Oh, for example, someone calls you and you say, oh, Anamabia. Oh, Odimma. Oh, Subadiho. Oh, Kaigawa. Oh, Ekwerem. So that O without a dot below it is O, O, O. Then U, U. So everything about Udaaro, the light vowels, is rise, 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 light, 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 up, up, up. E, I, O, U. Okay? Then onto Udamfe, which is the heavy vowels. I've already explained to you the misplacement or misnaming here. This is supposed to be the Udamfe and this is supposed to be Udaaro because of the weight of the sounds or the letters. But unfortunately, they're interchanged them. This is supposed to belong to this side. This side is supposed to belong here. But just take note, okay? I've added that extra explanation so that even though we continue to have them grouped this way, you will always remember that these ones are actually the light ones, okay? But they are being called Udaaro. These are actually the heavy ones, but they are being called Udamfe. So back to this. The first one, the leader of Udamfe, is A, not A. This is the A in Igbo. This is A, A. This is A, O. Now, unlike the Udaaro, Udamfe letters, they are usually deep and heavy when you are pronouncing them. The Udamfe letters are usually deep, okay, when you are pronouncing them. Your throat will have to sink inwards or downwards or backwards. Unlike this one that you have E upward flow, but in this one you have A. So there is a downward flow of air, okay? You have to bring out the bass in your throat, okay? So very heavy and deep. Okay, me, Ogaaro. So the same thing with this one. Then this one. O. A, O. A, O. Okay? So I, O, U, I, O, U, A, O. I, O, U, A, O. Okay? So by the time I give you examples of words where you find them, you get to understand why they are so. And you'll be able to differentiate between the ones that have this and the ones that have this, the ones that have this and the ones that have this, ones that have this and ones that have this. So the implication is that when you find them in Igbo words, okay, the ones that are light, the vowel letters that are there which are light, you have to pronounce them with that lightedness, okay, or lightness, okay. They are not heavy. The ones that are heavy, you have to make them to be heavy when you are pronouncing them, okay. The light vowels should be pronounced lightly. The heavy ones should be pronounced heavily. You add some depth to the pronunciation, okay. So these are the two major groupings of Udaume. But I also need to let you know some things about Udaume Igbo, which are so important. I'm going to give you some minutes to write this if you have not written it, but please, you are free to always pause the video and take notes. You can go back and rewatch. You can pause to write something down before I wipe it off. But you have all the control you need in order to follow up with my classes. Okay, I believe that you are done copying some of those things. So let me drop some points about Udaume that we cannot overlook. It will help in your understanding of Abiidii Igbo. Some points. Nke mbụ bụ na every Igbo word must contain Udaume except that is M, when functioning as a pronoun. That is me, I, mine, my. Okay. Number 2, nke abụọ. Udaume such as Udaume, that is A, I, E, O, O. Okay, can stand alone. Can stand alone as words. They are pronouns. They are pronouns, okay? Good. So these Udaume letters, they can stand alone. You just have two that don't function as words. That is U and O. Okay, they don't function as words. Okay, but A and okay, because when can also stand alone as a word. For example, enwere ihe m chọrọ ịgwa gị. Enwere ihe m chọrọ ịgwa gị. There is something I want to tell you. Enwere ihe m chọrọ ịgwa gị. Is functioning as there is, there. Okay? Okay. All right. So, the same thing with A. Okay, I can function as me, I, or them, or there is, there, or that, or it. Okay, but that's by the way. Along the lesson, I'll get to expose more about these pronouns, the vowel letters that can function as pronouns. So, ọ dị ihe na-abụọ dị oke mkpa kwesịrị ịma gbasara Udaume Igbo. Nke mbụ, except, okay, every Igbo word must contain Udaume, okay, except M, okay. That's actually one of the reasons why M and N are known as myiriudaume. Of course, the myiriudaume is the third division of the Abiidii Igbo. So, for the fact that M can stand alone, okay, and it doesn't contain a vowel letter, and it's still a word and a reasonable Igbo word, okay, that tells you why it should belong to myiriudaume. So every Igbo word must contain Udaume except that is M, when functioning as a pronoun. Okay, when M functions as a pronoun, it can stand alone and it must not contain any vowel letter. Then Udaume A, I, E, O, and E can stand alone as words. Okay. Now, okay. She. Every Igbo word end or must end with Igbo word, sorry, must end with a vowel letter, except in some cases. where M ends a word. So as we are going through and deep into the topic, you are now seeing more tangible reasons why M is an myiriudaume. I'm sure you must have heard of it elsewhere. I mentioned it in my course, and maybe in other courses you have taken, you must have had that categorization in myiriudaume. So M or is the myiriudaume because most times it functions as Udaume, as we have seen here. Okay, so these are facts about Igbo vowel letters. First, okay, every Igbo word must contain Udaume or a vowel letter. And then vowel letters usually end Igbo word. It's difficult for you to see an Igbo word ended by a consonant letter. That is mgbochiume. Udaume bụ ihe na-ejedebe ọtụtụ okwu Igbo. Mana enwere mgbe ụfọdụ M na-ejedebe okwu mana ebughị ibu. Okwu Igbo M jedebere pere mpe. Udaume A, I, E, O, and na E can stand alone as words. So even though they are letters, but they can also function as words and they have meanings that are very meaningful. These are pronouns. We'll still look into that in the future. So this is all I have for you about Udaume, that is the Igbo vowel letters. Okay, if you have any question for me, please you get back to me. Okay, please you can pause, you can watch, you can take notes, you can take a screenshot, but make sure that you digest this information. Okay? One ubochinta, I got you know range. Day one. Now that you have understood the different categorizations of the Abiidii Igbo, it will now become easier for you to make use of those letters in forming words and be able to pronounce them correctly in words and in sentences. The first categorization of the 36 Abiidii Igbo is Udaume, followed by mgbochiume and myiriudaume. In this class, we'll discuss Udaume, which is the first division. Okay, Udaume is very important because without them you cannot form Igbo words. There is no Igbo word that does not contain Udaume except M, as I discussed in the lesson. So I'm very happy that we have looked into this. Okay, in the next class we're going to discuss mgbochiume, the consonant letters, and with this knowledge of Udaume and the various divisions of Udaume, and then the accurate pronunciations of those Udaume letters, that is Udamfe and Udaaro, I believe that henceforth, when you find those letters in Igbo words, you'll be able to pronounce them correctly, so that when you see Udaaro, you don't pronounce it wrongly as an Udamfe letter. So in order to support your learning, I have developed video courses on Udemy, which you can take to support your learning. So I have the video course for this particular lesson that extensively discusses most of those topics. Okay, if you go on Udemy, you look for Chukwu Christian Onyemechi or IgboLingua. All right, so you take our course if you like to learn more, or you get the newly launched books dedicated to learning Asụsụ Igbo. There are two major books that I launched recently that treat some of those topics. The first one is Bịa Mụta Igbo 1, Basics Igbo Language Course. Okay, that first book is for the basics. Okay, if you are a foundational learner of Igbo language, make sure you get that book today. To support your Igbo language learning journey, I've launched 2 standard Igbo books that can help to boost your proficiency and fasten the process of learning Asụsụ Igbo. The names are Bịa Mụta Igbo 1, Basics Comprehensive Igbo Language Course, and then the second one is Bịa Mụta Igbo 2, Intermediate Comprehensive Igbo Language Course. Those 2 books will help you to learn Igbo faster. They discuss key topics, essential topics in Igbo language that you need to know. I have included the links to the books in the description and then the comment section. So you can go there and click on the link that will lead you to where you can get the paperback or the ebook versions of those books. Biko, endeavor to join us on our various social media platforms. On TikTok, you can join us by searching for IgboLingua, the same thing on YouTube and on Instagram. So you go to Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok and search for IgboLingua. Anywhere you are watching this particular lesson, please endeavor to follow us and turn on the notification bell so that anytime we post a new content, a new class, you'll be able to join us. We also have a channel and group on WhatsApp. So if you go to our profile, you're going to see a link that will lead you to our WhatsApp channel and our WhatsApp group. So I invite you to join those platforms so that you can consistently follow up with our lessons. Remember, drop by drop makes a mighty ocean, and it is your consistent effort towards learning Igbo language that will actually make you copy or akochi and gbasara asụsụ Igbo in no distant time. So I encourage you to keep the momentum up, okay? Keep going, read books, watch Igbo movies, read Igbo books, join us in our classes, both the free classes and then the online courses we have. And anytime you have a question, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, okay? I look forward to seeing you at the top. There will.